ครับก็มาเรียน is the Dermatology Part 3 นะครับ it's about hair appendage, Arrector, pilli, and glands. So before anything, I will have to tell you that all the context in these slides come from Shimizu textbooks of dermatology. So please keep in mind that we have to acknowledge that. Hair apparatus is very important for us as it play the part for the protections, including heat, dust, sunlight, and mechanical. You will have equations where is there play the heat role. You can imagine without the hair on your head, you will quite very hot when the sunlight exposed over your head. Dust just like the hair in your nose. Sunlight, and mechanical frictions is just like when you have the hair in your armpit and at the pubic area. It decreases the frictions when you move around, so there doesn't cause any discriminations or rash or pain. So there is some part of the body that there is no hair at all. So if you know, please comment it in this video. We will start with hair follicle. Hair follicle is like the layers that enclose the hair. It's just like our epidermis. Actually, if you pull the hair up to the surface, at first it's like this, right? Like this, and there is a hair. And if you pull up, it will be just like the surface of hair. So hair follicle divide into big two parts. The first is the connective tissue on the outside, and the inner side will be the sheath, and the sheath is divided into two parts, and it's inner root sheath and the outer one. As you can see, this is the histo of the hair follicles, connective tissue on the outside, and the root sheath on the inside that actually attach the hair itself. And you can see that the cell here and here look pretty much the same. And as you can see, the hair was actually come from the papilla. It's just the base of the hair itself is producing the hair, just like the basal layers. So if you fold it up, it will be just like this, and this is hair, you know. And this connective tissue layers, you know, and there is the sheath, and there is the hair. As you just like pull it up, and there will be something like epidermis, but actually it's dimpling into the dermis, you know. So we will describe the layer by layer. So this is on the right side is cross sections of the hair follicle at a different level of the hair apparatus. So at the outermost, it will be connective tissue sheet of hair follicle. It's comprised of collagen fiber. It's pretty much the same as the dermis in your skin, but it just like fall into the subcutaneous tissue. But if you pull it up, it's just a connective tissue, this sheet. So it's the same as the connective tissue in the dermis. So it's composed of collagen fibers, circularly and longitudinally. When you move a little bit inside, there will be an outer root sheath, which is keratinized, also with there's some desmosome. So if you recognize the epidermis, you will feel it pretty much the same as the outer root sheath. You move from the outer root sheath, you move a little bit, you will find the inner root sheath with divide into two layers, huxley and headlace. Most of them is keratinized, and the keratinized is finished at the sebaceous gland. And if you move a little bit, you will find the cuticle of hair, cortex of hair, and hair matrix. which is the part that actually produce the melanin for the hair itself and the hair bulb. If you go to this picture, you can see if you pull up the hair, this part will be like epidermis. It's epidermis that and continuous epidermis down here. So that's why the keratinized is finished at the sebaceous gland, because on the upper there will be epidermis. It's no longer the part of the hair follicle. This is the hair structure itself. Hair is just come from the, if you imagine, it's just like come from the basal layers of the epidermis, but it's actually the hair bulb and hair papilla that actually generate the hair itself. But as you can see, if you compare to epidermis, it's just like from the basal layer, which have the property to produce keratin, produce melanocyte, a lot of that, just like the basal layer. And this is the hair cycle. You come from anagens, you go to catagens, and you go to telogens. At first you will have the anagens, which need 6 to 8 years of growth. It will just continuously growth a little bit by a little bit, and then from anagens to telogens there will be a catagens, which is transitional phase. And so the catagens itself is like 2 to 3 weeks, and when you go to telogens, it's the rest phase. It's the phase that is going to die in 3 to 4 months. So when the telogens die on, the anagens will come up on the same follicle again. So hair cycle will just like anagen, catagen, telogens, and then it's revert back to anagen when the telogen dying. So on the upper this one is not telogen, right? It's not the same thing. It just show that hair actually grow from the outside to the inside. So there is thick part and its growing part. So if you compare, this one would be anagen and this one would be telogen, and at some point it will die. So if you compare easily, this one would be like a basal layer that actually create the hair up, and they form into the hair papilla, and all over it will become hair follicle and hair apparatus. Move to the next is Arrector pilli muscles. Is the one that actually made you have a goosebump. It's smooth muscle, so you cannot control it because it's not the striated muscles, so you cannot control it at all. It's controlled by autonomous system, which is adrenergic sympathetic nerves. Next is the glands. We will continue with the sebaceous gland, the one that actually connect with the hair. The sebaceous gland produce the sebum that actually will moist with the moisture, and then coat the skin. This is repel the water from go in and go out, and also prevent the infections to easily penetrate the skin. You will not find the sebaceous gland in the hand and soul, and you will find it abundant in T-zone at the upper part, and T-zone is the most common place that you will find your pimple or acne สิวครับ that is will be very prominent, and you will find a lot there at the T-zone. Some of the sebaceous gland, there is no hair in it, including lip, buccal mucosa, areola area, vagina, labia pudendis, gland penis, foreskin inner plate, and free sebaceous. We call it free sebaceous gland. And if you cannot remember all of this, you just remember that it is just a place that it look very shiny but no hair. Into the lips is shiny, no hair. Buccal mucosa, there's very shiny but no hair at all. Vagina, Okay, of course you know it. Gland penis, very shiny, no hair. Sebaceous gland will divide into two parts. It is a globus and it's a duct. Sebocyte in the globus will fill with the fat droplets, and when they want to excrete, they become holocrine secretions, which actually put part of the cells as the secretions. So it's like this, and you want to secrete it, you put it in the something like vesicle, but not really a vesicle, and you just put the part of the cell outside as a secretion, so the cell lost some cytoplasm and the fat is as well, so it's called holocrine secretions. From sebaceous gland we move to sweat gland, which contain eccrine sweat gland and apocrine sweat gland. Eccrine sweat gland you can find all over the place in your bodies, and you can find especially in palm and sole, armpit. Actually, you just the place that you found it like really sweaty, and the eccrine sweat gland secretions in the basal cell of the eccrine sweat gland will have a high glycogen, so it will produce a serous sweat gland. You know, it's more like liquidy. It's like less viscous compared to luminal cell, which secrete mucus. It will be more thickening or have more viscosity. The duct that actually gonna put the secretions into the epidermis will contain two layers, which help you absorb back the sodium and choline, so you can produce the hypotonic solutions. That is for, you know, you have to preserve as much as sodium and choline as much as possible, so that you don't lose too much on the skin. This is eccrine sweat gland, and as you can see, there is a duct, and the duct is straight in the dermis and become more like coil shape in the epidermis. And this duct will try to absorb as much as possible of sodium and choline, so the one that actually excrete to your skin is hypotonic solution compared to your blood. So at first there will be a lot of sodium choline, like a lot, and when you go up it's like smaller amount of sodium choline, so it's hypotonic solution. We move from eccrine sweat gland to apocrine sweat gland. Is the part that actually generate the pheromones, which happen in mammary glands. You can find a lot of apocrine sweat gland in armpit, external ear canal, areola membranes, external genitalia, and anus. So a little bit like some place that actually will a little bit of smell. Actually the thing that produced from the mammary gland is viscous and odorless, but it's a sex hormone inside as a pheromone. And apocrine sweat gland is larger than the eccrine sweat gland. So this is apocrine sweat gland. You can see it's like a pocket which have the substance inside and will produce to the surface. So this is all the gland here. Is eccrine sweat gland, apocrine sweat gland, sebaceous gland, and free sebaceous gland. Thank you very much.